Hey guys, how's it going? So we're back with another video, and this is not the kind of video that I would normally film. If you've been watching me lately, I've been talking about the guitar market, or reviewing a guitar model, or talking about an amp, or talking about an accessory or a pedal or something. That's usually what we do on this channel. But today is different. This is something that I've been wanting to film for a few months, and I just never really found the right time to do it, but I feel like I need to do it now. I'm going to start with telling you a little bit about myself, something that you may not know. 2 years ago, almost to the day, I was sitting in my basement, and all of a sudden, my right ear popped, and there was this very loud ringing sound. Very high-pitched ringing sound. Everything sounded muffly. Everything sounded like it was underwater in that ear. So naturally, I got up out of my chair, ran upstairs, tried to flush it out with water, tried to pop my ears, used a Q-tip, thought maybe there was something stuck in there, but it didn't get better. I went to my doctor, and they referred me to an ENT. Went to the ENT, and he said, I think you have viral labyrinthitis, which basically means that a virus got into the labyrinth of your ear and fried some of your nerves. But, we can inject steroids into your eardrum and make it better. So he injected it into my eardrum, and man, that sucked. They take this metal cone-looking thing, they stick it in your ear, and then they take this big, long needle and jam it into your eardrum and inject steroids straight into your eardrum. And you can feel it going all down inside your face and inside your ear. It's terrible. Well, 3 injections later, it never got better. I had a hearing test done. I'd lost all sound above 7K. It doesn't sound that bad, right? Every doctor I've seen is like, oh, but you can still hear human speech, so you're fine. Neglecting to understand the nuance of a musician who performs regularly, records and mixes music regularly, being unable to hear that frequency range is devastating. The doctor told me this is probably permanent, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Also, protect the hearing you have left, protect your good ear, and protect what you got left in your bad ear. So, I continued to perform. I didn't really use hearing protection at all, even after this. And ironically, not protecting my hearing is not what caused it. It was something outside of that. I have exceptional hearing in this ear, and I used to have exceptional hearing in this ear. But I performed anyway. I figured it's already broken. Whatever, who cares? And I quit performing with the band that I was in about 1.5 years ago. And I started noticing things were happening in that ear again. I was hearing a completely different pitch in this ear versus this ear sometimes. And it was really scary. It's called diplocusis. I'd have these episodes that last about 3 hours, and then they'd go away. So I realized, okay, you got to use in-ears. And listen, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like digital stuff at all. I mean, yeah, I'm recording digitally over my shoulder right now. But other than that, I don't like digital stuff. I like analog stuff. I like real stuff. I hate in-ears. Hate in-ears. I hate them. You don't hear anything. People talk to you. You can't hear them. You can't hear the crowd. You can't hear your bandmates. Your guitar doesn't sound right. The drums sound not good enough. The bass doesn't sound good enough. Your voice sounds bad in your own head, and it causes you to lose your pitch. It's a whole nightmare, right? But I did it anyway. And I started this band. My band is named Jagular, by the way. And during rehearsals and stuff, I was using this X-Vive in-ear system, which is like the one everybody uses, the budget one. And it was depressing. And I wanted to give up. Nobody was listening to me. No pun intended. The doctors continuously said, you can still hear speech, because speech lies in like the 5K and under range. So you lost 7K, who cares? They didn't want to explore it any further. I had perfect pitch before, and that doesn't mean I could sing in perfect pitch. I can get close, but I could hear in perfect pitch. And when you lose 7K in this ear and it's all muffly, and then you're using in-ears and muffling it further, I found singing to be impossible. I mean, it was literally to the point that I wanted to give up. And I tried everything. I tried these too. These are AirPod Pro, the new ones. And they have like this transparency mode where you're supposed to be able to wear them in concerts and you can still hear from the microphones. It just makes everything quieter. But, I mean, come on. Who am I kidding? The kind of music that I play and the kind of concerts that I would go to, it wasn't enough. It was peaking out to the point where it wasn't really doing anything for me. And I wanted to give up. And then, out of nowhere, I went online, and I don't remember what website it was. It was AMS or Zounds or something. And I saw this product, ASI Audio. And it claims to be this fancy in-ear monitor system. It was like $800. And I thought, what is this, you know? What is this product? It costs so much money. It can't be any better than what I have. At this point, keep in mind, I'm at the end of my rope. Our first gig is coming up with my band, and I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know how the hell I'm going to perform. I can't sing. I can't perform the way that I want to perform. And so I started doing some research, and the product seemed too good to be true. It was a product that I had just told my wife a few days before that I wanted to invent. And the idea was, what if there was an in-ear monitor system or earplugs that you could wear that had microphones built into each side? In real time, it takes the audio that you hear, amplifies it into your ears, but you have a volume control. So you can hear what you would normally hear, just quieter. Isn't that the dream? Isn't that what we're trying to get some of the time with in-ears? Hear what you hear, but quieter and at a safe volume? That's what this product claimed to be. It was developed by a guy named Dr. Michael Santucci. And this guy is like this industry expert who he did work for NASA on the International Space Station. Like, this guy was the real deal. You go to their website, Sensaphonics is the name of his company. You go to their website and you see his picture. He's got this really nice portrait of him with his bio. He looks untouchable, you know? He's like the kind of guy that Dave Matthews would go see. Or, you know, you name somebody, you know, Steven Tyler, anybody you can think of, Brian Johnson. If they are having hearing problems, he looks like the kind of guy that they would go see. And he is the one who invented this product. And so I was up really late, as I usually am, devastated with my current state. And I sent him an email. And I told him my story, the one I just told you. And I said, I don't know. Do you think this product can help me? Can you see me? And I'm thinking, there's no way this guy's going to see me. He's up in Chicago. I'm on the western side of Indiana. I'm about 2 hours from Chicago. He emailed me back and said he wanted to see me. So he scheduled an appointment. I got my parents to watch one of my girls, and we took our baby on a road trip to Chicago.
Well, I just threw this together. I didn't plan it out at all. The words just come to me, and down they fall. Maybe I won't tell you how I feel with my words. I'll let my guitar do the talking and leave the singing to the birds.
So I walk into the Sensaphonics office and into the front desk, check in, and the doctor comes walking from the back. Dr. Santucci himself, Mr. NASA, Mr. The people who need help with their hearing, musicians, and the guy who invented this crazy invention is there to see me. I could not believe it, really. It's worth noting that this product that I found was sold out everywhere. You couldn't buy it even if you wanted to. So he takes me back, and we sit down, and for the first time, a professional sat on the other side of the desk and listened to my story and understood the depth of my story. The way he looked at me and listened to me, I don't know how to explain it. When you have a problem like this, it's not like something worse, by the way, like your arm gets cut off, or you go blind, or you have a physical ailment, or a disease that changes you physically. And I'm not suggesting that this problem is as severe as those, but with those sort of problems, the world can see and recognize your struggle. And I'm not trying to get sympathy or pity at all. But it's really hard to deal with being locked inside your own head with this ringing and with this distortion and with this. It's so lonely. You can't show anyone. You can't explain. You tell people like, oh yeah, and it's not like I go around just telling people about this, It's, you could tell them if you wanted to. Hey, I got this ringing, it rings, or it's real muffled, and they're just like, oh man, that sucks. It's not as visceral as seeing something. I'd been alone with this for so long, and he understood. He told me a little bit about himself and about why he created this product. Sorry, there was a fly. And he told me about how he was outfitting symphonies with these and orchestras with these. And he said, hold on a second. He goes back to his office. He had a back room. And he came back. And while he's back there, he's talking to one of his employees, and he says, this story is fascinating. Still, I couldn't believe this meeting was happening. I couldn't believe that he was listening to me and he understood. He came back and he handed me this. He had one of those monitor systems, and he said, this is an open box unit, and I'll sell it to you. He sold it to me for less than what a new one would have cost, which was fair because it was opened. He said, but before, I want you to put it on and turn it on. I'm going to show it to you. So, inside the case, you have this. This is the receiver. I'm sorry, the sender unit. And you get these. These are these fancy monitors. Proprietary stereo plug. And the way it works is, plug it in, you put it on, you turn it on, and what is it? On each of these buds is a microphone. A super high microphone, like a microphone that can take a lot of heat and not peak out. That alone is a fascinating design and a fascinating invention, in my opinion. And then what's this? There's a volume up and down. Essentially what you have here is a binaural recording device that you can monitor in real time. This does have an audio out on it, by the way. And you can change the volume of what you hear with your normal ears. Imagine if you had a volume knob on your temple that you could turn your ears up and down. And it's app-enabled with Bluetooth. There's individual EQ per ear, and individual volume per ear. So he hands me this, and I put it in my ears, and I turn it on, and I open up the app. He lets me pair this to my phone, and I go to that lost frequency, that 7K and up, and I turn it up a little on my right ear, on my bad ear. And then he spoke to me. I wept in a doctor's office, guys. I was hearing things I hadn't heard for almost 2 years sitting there with him. And this is just speech, by the way. And I knew that that was the answer to my problem right there. I knew that this was something that it wasn't just for me, and not just for music. Think of people that you love that have lost their hearing. Think of yourself if you've lost your hearing. I'm not saying that this magically makes your hearing come back, but it provides clarity in a muffled world. I can't thank Dr. Santucci enough for this invention. I can't. This invention has changed my life. But let's take it a step further. I took it back home. I had bought this Plexi, but I never got to hear it. You know how people talk about how Plexis sound, you know? They're percussive and they're deep and they melt your face off and they're the amp, the best amp ever. And I always wanted one. I finally got one, but because of my issue, I couldn't actually hear it. I had to wear earplugs or over ears or monitors and mic it and listen to the monitor through my Mac or something, or through the board with a monitor. That night I got home. I plugged my Plexi in. I put these on, and I turned it up. And I got to hear my Plexi. Later that week, my band came over for a rehearsal. And I was able to hear my band and my music. Bass player talking to me, I could hear him. Drummer talking to me, I could hear him. A few weeks later, we went and played our first show, and I used these.
Please tell me why. Please tell me how. I'm in the doghouse now.
I could hear the audience. I could hear individual people, shouting at the band. I could hear the applause. I could walk to the drum set and it gets louder. I could lean back and hear my guitar more. It's amazing. It changed my life, guys. I'm being completely serious. One of the things I didn't mention that's really cool, this also has an input. So, since I sing, I don't need to have a monitor on the floor because I can use my X5, and instead of sending the signal out to monitors like you normally would, I use a really short 3.5 millimeter cable, plug it into the input of this, and I have both. I can have a monitor mix in my head at whatever volume I want using the slider on the X5 and in the room volume for everything else. And I got to tell you, it's changed everything for me. I go to my friend Dave's house weekly, and he's got a studio. Me and my friend Dave and my friend Brad, we play music just for fun once a week. And it used to be that I'd go there with earplugs. This dude's got everything. He's got like a Mesa Boogie. He's got these old vintage, this old vintage 50s amp with it's I forget what it's called. The cab swirls around. He's got a Plexi, a JCM, a JVM. He's got a JTM. He's got a 1960A. He's got this gigantic like 18-inch bass speaker. But I wasn't able to hear any of this stuff I'm wearing earplugs and over ears. Now I take this and I can hear everything. And it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I said it before and I'll say it again. I think this is the greatest musical invention of all time. It gave me music back. It gave me clarity in a muffled world. And I know that lately this channel has been about being angry or being critical, and I'm still angry and critical. You know, Fender still upsets me on a regular basis. But I felt like it was time to talk about something good. And there's nothing better than this. So, before we end the video, I'm going to utilize this really cool feature. This has an audio out. What I'm going to do to end the video is I'm going to plug this in to my Scarlett behind me. No effects, nothing. I'm going to put them on, and I want you to hear what I hear. I'm going to turn on this plexi, crank it. If you listen to this with headphones or if you listen to this with earbuds, you will hear exactly what I hear. And if you're on the fence about buying these, listen to this section coming up and then make your choice. Okay, so I've got them on, and let's see what happens. By the way, everything that you're hearing right now is coming from here in my head. See? Even my voice. So you're hearing my voice from my perspective. I guess you're not really hearing it coming through the inside of your own brain. But yeah. So here we go. The plexi is cranked. Variac 91 volts. I got my Annihilator guitar, super distortion from the 70s, and you're gonna hear exactly what I hear. Ready? I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I've never tried the binaural recording feature before, but I try to get down in it and come back up. So let's turn on some effects now. This is so loud that I'm worried the police are going to come, by the way. I'm totally serious. I'm going to turn on some effects.
God bless Dr. Michael Santucci.